What's up guys, Marcelo here, and today I want to talk about the 5 most common mistakes that we make as designers and what we can do to avoid those mistakes. So let's jump right into it. For number 1, I have what I like to call the design overdose effect. And that's when you spend way too much time on one aspect of the design and you spend the whole day thinking through this project like just intensely, and you feel really good about it. You feel really good about your designs, and you go to bed and you're thinking like, I'm the best designer out there. Like, I kill this. This is awesome. Like, this is the best design I've ever made. And you wake up the next morning and you look at your designs and you're like, what? I didn't make this. Like, there's no way I made this. It looks like crap. And that is because you get tunnel vision. You're so focused on that one project, on that one problem, that you end up like making mistakes along the way, but you're just pushing through. You're just trying to get it done. But you don't allow your mind time to really refresh. You don't ask other people's opinions. So the way to avoid this is to take breaks, and like, even if you don't have the luxury of just like stepping out, going outside for like 2 hours, jump into another project or another aspect of the project. Like if you're doing a website, jump into icons for a little bit and jump into copy. I don't know, like do something else that doesn't require the same amount of attention. The other thing that you can do is also sharing your design. Like, sharing your design often is a great way to get other people's perspective on your design, even if they're not a designer. Like, share your work with your spouse, share your work with like someone walking down the street, maybe not someone walking down the street. Share your work with people and get their perspective on it, and I guarantee you that will help in your design. And number 2, we have perfectionism, which I am not 100% sure if that's a word. I haven't really looked it up, but perfectionism is something that we all really struggle with. I think I struggle with a lot. Not that there's anything wrong with the pursuit of perfection, but if it keeps you from putting something out there, then it does. A classic case of this is with designers, especially, is our portfolios. We create like 5, 6, 7, 8 different versions of our portfolio, and we never end up putting anything out. The truth is that like that whole time you have nothing out there that people can find you, people can see your work. So you get so caught up in like how perfect you want to make something that you don't end up making anything. And that's a problem. Even a personal example, I've done this. I have like, I lost count of how many versions of portfolios I have saved in my computer that I never put it out. But I finally, a couple months ago, said screw it, I need something. Went into Squarespace, created a quick landing page that just has like a background video. It has a logo, it has a little description about myself so people know who I am, and I added a few social links, and that's it. But at least it's something, and people can actually find me. So the best way to get over this perfectionism is to just do it. Like, put something out there. If it's something that's personal to you, if it's something from a client or a company that you're working for, just ask questions and be aware of the product timeline. For example, if it's a startup and they're launching their first version of their app, you're not going to spend a ton of time on visuals and on like perfecting every single detail about the app, every single interaction. You're gonna slap something together that's useful, that you can actually share with your users and get some feedback, and put that out there so people can start using it, get your feedback, and then on other iterations, then you can spend the time perfecting things and getting all those interactions and all those pixels right. Number 3, I have bad listening skills, and this, I've lost count of how many times I've seen this happen with people around me, and I've been guilty of that as well. A big reason why designers sometimes have a really bad reputation out there with people is because they're bad listeners. Because we're all creatives, we all take pride in our craft, and we want to make cool things, and we think that we know everything. But the truth is that listening is the best skill that you can have as a designer, because literally you're creating things for other people, especially for a product designer. You're trying to understand where people are coming from, you're trying to understand their problems, you're trying to understand stakeholders and what they're trying to create, and you're trying to put this all together and package it in a product or a website that really serves a specific purpose and that really solves a problem for those specific people. So try to actively listen to people, because that will only make your products better, because now you're so laser focused on the people that you're trying to help. Number 4 mistake is opinion-based decision. So many times when I was starting out, I would do something and I would make this design and I'd be so proud of it, and someone would ask me, hey, why did you use this font? Or why did you use this color? Why is this gradient and not like a flat color? Or like, why is the radius in this box like 4 pixels and not 8? And the only answer that I would have for them is, well, because it looks good. Like, it looks good to me. And that answer works for some specific situations, but for 99% of the time, especially if you're a product designer, that is not a good answer. And this is a tip that I wish someone had told me when I was starting out, because I think if you do this correctly, it can skyrocket your career and you can automatically be above 80% of the designers out there, because you're actually thinking through every single decision that you made. If you are designing anything, a website, a product, an icon, like, think about why you're doing things the way you're doing it. And this ties back to understanding your users and understanding who you're designing for. I've heard of this designer once, and I don't know if this is true or not. I've heard it from, I don't even remember who I heard it from. Might have dreamed it, I don't know. But I've heard of this designer that has a little action figure character on top of his computer monitor, and he's constantly talking through all his design decisions and rationalizing everything that he's doing, so that when it came time to actually present that to real people, he would have that ingrained in his mind, like why he did things the way he did, and he would have an answer for everything. So it wasn't just like someone coming to a meeting and saying like, well, I did this because I think it looks good and I think people will like it. So I thought that was a great tip. Like, if you don't have someone that you can bounce ideas off of, having some sort of object that you can talk to and like rationalize things and start thinking through the reasons why you're doing things the way you're doing is a great idea. Again, do this, because if you can explain your decisions to people and can communicate it in a really concise and effective way, you become so much more valuable to any company. And finally, at number 5, I have pixel over story. And this mistake happens so often out there too. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't like Dribbble, is because there are so many great designs on Dribbble that look really good, but when you actually put in real life, they wouldn't work. Which I have my own opinions about Dribbble, by the way. I think if it used correctly, it can be a great tool and a great resource for people. But you have to come in with the right mentality, and this is a topic for another video. But especially if you come from a visual graphic design background like I do, it's really hard to put UI aside for a little bit and think of the overall like story that you're trying to tell and the overall process that the user is going through. But this is so important to creating a really good product. So one solution to this that I found in my personal workflow is to separate the project into 2 steps. The first step is more the wireframing and prototyping process. So this is when you're like learning about your audience, learning about what your stakeholders are trying to build, thinking of solutions to this problem and wireframing them and prototyping it before you even get to the UI side of things, so that you can really think through the journey that the user is going to go through as they go through your product, and how things should feel and how they should accomplish a task within the app or the website or whatever you're making. And once you really nail down that experience side of the app, then you can move into the UI and visuals and really focus on making an app look stunning and just pop. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have been amazing. Can't believe I have over 100 subscribers. I know that sounds like nothing to a lot of people out there, but for me, it's awesome. Like, I'm so stoked to be making these videos, to be putting it out there, and I hope this is helpful to you. And if you like it, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to my channel, and please share with other people that you think might benefit from these videos, because I'll be making a lot more of these. So I hope you all have a great day, great rest of your week, and I'll see you next week. Peace.